I like to come up with different topics that I don't see other people talking about. And one topic that I never see people talking about online is um black male virgins versus black female virgins. We never have a statistic on how many males who never had sex and never had sex with a black woman and who first sexual experience was with a non-black woman. See, black women like to lie and try to act like change the narrative and say that when good black men get rich or get money and status, they choose a white woman. But they never tell you that. They never tell you the other side of it from a man's perspective, and how hard it is for most black men who are good, who are kind of awkward and weird, or whatever you want to call it, lame, square, how hard it is for them to get a black female to have intercourse with them, right? We never hear that. We always hear about how how black men need to take responsibility for the community, and black men need to stop doing this and making women their wives and blah 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 blah. But these guys who have these same talking points, they never tell black women to hold their virginity for a good guy, because it's harder in life for a female to hold her virginity, hold on to her virginity, than a guy. A guy it's harder for him. He has to work. If he's not born with looks, and he's not born with, this whole game bullshit, then he's shit out of luck. He has to get money. He has to build himself up. It takes 5 or 10 years to build himself up, even to get to the point where he can start having sexual friends and whatever. But a woman, in any condition she can be fat, overweight, have mental health issues, smell bad, have no type of furniture in her house, sleep on a futon, have roaches up in her house, and she will still find a way to have sex. She will have sex in the middle of an alley, in a car, anywhere. Black women have found many ways and found many men they can have sex with. So we have to look at the statistics on how many black male versions there are next to how many black female versions there are. And you will see just how these women operate. You will see how they are, because you can't tell me that it's more females than males. It's more black women than men. And all of these black men are going after IG models and thods and all that other stuff, because if that was the truth, you wouldn't have a small portion of men who never had sex. You wouldn't have that. So now, if you haven't thought about this, I'm going to put you, just try to find out on your own, do your own research on certain people out here, and ask certain guys anonymously or another way. Try to ask them if they're a virgin or not, or ask them who was their first sexual experience. And I bet you, like 5% might say that their first sexual experience is not with a black woman. They were with other races of women. So for people to be saying, all this other bullshit about the black man need to take responsibility for the community and them not making women's wives, what about the women? Why they're not keeping their virginity? Why they're jumping on every man they can possibly have? See, it's a lot harder for a man to lose his virginity than it is for a female. Like I said before, you will see how much responsibility that certain men have to distribute. The men who are having sex, the men who got all the women, the men who got numbers of women they can have sex with without ever having a car or ever having any real responsibilities, having 12 kids. Those are the guys who need to do their job to help the black community. The men who just sitting, don't have anybody, even though they're better than the rest of these guys, and they still can't find a black woman to actually be with because, well, they all like the same type of guys. And let's not kid ourselves saying that, hey, it's black women nerds who like video games. No. I already went through that in another video. So it's pretty much, that's dead. Because if these female nerds really were female nerds, they wouldn't be having these talk. They wouldn't be saying shit like, well, I love video games, but I also love salsa dancing and I love doing this and this and this and this and this. If you are a gamer to the core, then you like video games. You never hear a black woman say that she doesn't like to go out. She just like to stay in. And she would like to have a boyfriend who plays video games and chills in the house with her. You never hear you won't hear none black women say that kind of shit. Because there's none out there. You can't show me any black woman who's socially awkward or all this other crap. You can't even show me in each city where there's a higher population of black people. You can't find me I'm gonna be generous. You can't find me 100 female versions in each of these cities. But I bet you'll find over 100 black male versions in these cities from the ages of 18 to, let's say 45. You would never find a black female version who's from 18 to their to the 40 to their 45s. You would never find that. So it's a lopsided thing going on out here. Just know it out here. It exists. It exists. That means that they do like the same men. The argument is done right now. They like the same men because if they didn't like the same men, then more men, if it's more women, it would be going to every guy would not miss out on any type of sexual experience with a black woman. And I'm talking about specifically in America, not outside of America. So guess what? They like the same men. It's more of them, but they're sharing the same guys. And you can't dispute that, because if you can tell me that all these men are going after these thoughts and IG models and they're unsuccessful, but you're not saying that what you're not saying is that these guys are going after the ugly women and the fat women as well, and they're getting dissed by these same women because they all want the same thug, six-pack guy, looking like Michael B. Jordan. They like the same guys. Even the ugliest female has an ego, and she thinks she's better than anything. So I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna end this video. Just know that if somebody brings up the fact that, black men don't like good black women, just throw it out there. Say, hey, how many black female versions do you actually know out here compared to how many black male versions you know? And that'll shut them up. How many guys you know who never had sex, who you call weird and awkward? How many women do you think you can call weird and awkward and don't get any guys?